it is of concern. But as it relates specifically to Klein Kane, I can tell you at this point in time, we have one person of interest that we're working with Harris County District Attorney's Office on criminal charges. I will tell you that investigation is still ongoing, and the fact that we had multiple postings yesterday and the day before, and so we're going to track down each and every one of those. We're working through those. Yesterday's came back through Houston FBI office. They worked with our staff in conjunction with Constable Herman's office deputies, made contact with the individual, and again started the investigation from there. Something that has new development here is last night, Department of Homeland Security reached out to me, and they've offered their services. They're willing to bring whatever resources they have to help us track these threats down. Our team has worked through the night. And one of the things that I'm going to ask here, and it's really, and part of the reason for the whole press conference is to ask our community, if you see it, share it, don't spread it. And when I say share it, I'm talking about share it with your campus administration, share it with law enforcement. If you have questions about it, reach out to us. We're more than happy to filter through. Klein ISD has a button at the top of every one of our on our website. It says keep Klein safe. If you click that message comes directly to me or one of my command staff members. We answer each and every one of them as fast as we can get to them. Please do not take and put it out on your social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, pick whatever social media platform you are. Please don't put it out there looking for the community's input, because sadly, most of the time, they don't have the answers. So all that occurs is they share it and reshare it and share it again. And what happens is, as an investigative team, we're getting information. Somebody says, I know about this threat. So we reach out to them, and only to find out that it was their cousin's barber's best friend. I'm being facetious, but that's the way it works out. And so those go out, and now we've spent valuable time tracking that one down when we could actually be working towards the one that we're looking for, the one who actually made the threat. So again, working with these agencies, we are in fact, and we will continue, you have my word on that, we will continue to track and chase these threats as far as we have to. Our team was out through the night working, knocking on doors. Even if a person just simply shared it, we may knock on your door at 2 a.m. to ask you where you got the information, because we believe this is critical. With everything going on in the world today, we're going to use every resource we have to chase these leads down. If you guys will permit me, I'd like to talk directly to our students, not just Klein ISD, but students around the state and the nation. This is not a prank. This is not a joke. This is not something to get more likes or more shares. This is not a way to become a social media, one of those influencer type people. This is not the way to do this, because you might get notoriety, but it's not going to be the kind of notoriety you're looking for. Our team will track it down. We will investigate. Students, if you are found this in Klein ISD, if you make a threat to our campus, there is a very strong likelihood you're going to be expelled immediately. That student last night is no longer a student in Klein ISD. Not only will you be expelled, but we will present and try to put any charge we can. Now, guys, I need y'all to understand, as an agency, that is not our mission. That is not Klein ISD's mission. Our mission is to work with our students and provide a safe and secure environment. Now, don't get me wrong, we will make the arrest when we need to, but that is not what we want to do. And again, these pieces have lifelong consequences. To my parents, if you're not involved in your child's cell phone usage in their life, I can't implore you enough to please get involved. I liken it to, when I talk to community members, we too often see community parents hand a child a cell phone at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, pick it. And I asked them, would you give that same child the keys to your car to go to the store? And the answer is always unequivocally no. Well, why not? because they haven't had driver's ed. They haven't had time with me behind the wheel. I have these safeguards, whether it's GPS, whether it's whatever pieces they put in place to protect their children while they're driving. Do they not recognize that the cell phone can be equally as dangerous? We hand them the phone and send them out into the World Wide Web with no real guidance. Not always. Many of our parents are very involved and have apps and things like that. But I will tell you, if they're not doing it, I can't implore them enough to please get involved and start doing that. This situation, I believe you can see the passion in my voice. I'm a parent. I have kids. I can't begin to express how disappointed we are. We're better than this. As a community, Klein ISD, we are better than this, that we're faced with this right now. You know, I see our parents come up with the fear and the panic in their eyes because, again, social media has morphed this into something that it's not. To date, we have yet to find one threat that we believe to be credible. We will put this, but parents, what they're seeing is they're seeing their children text or call them and say, Mom, Dad, everybody's leaving, everybody's afraid, and the posts keep coming in, and I can't blame the parents for being concerned. I can assure our parents that we work day and night to provide a safe and secure environment for our students. I can tell you right now, Klein High School has more staff, more law enforcement staff. Again, thanks to our partnership with Constable Mark Herman's office, we've got their deputies walk in the driveways in the parking lots, walk in our halls with us. We've had calls from other agencies offering their help, and if we need to, we'll take it to continue making certain that they have a safe environment for that. You know, one of the questions that keeps coming up, or I have parents saying, I'm afraid for my child. Well, let me tell you something, guys. When you see my command staff here and when you look around my office, they're all parents of students in Klein ISD, and guess where our kids are at? Our kids are in school today where they belong. School is and has always been one of the safest places for our children. And we take that serious, and we will continue. With that, I'll take any questions you guys might have.
Can you elaborate on the person of interest, the person's age, if arrested, and what charges they would present with?
The student's 15, so that's about as far as I can go with that, as you recognize being a juvenile, and we're working with the district attorney's office to determine what's appropriate. As you well know, at a minimum, it's a terroristic threat. However, based on the reaction and the cause, we're going to work with them to try to enhance that.
You said the threats that you found so far are not credible?
Correct.
What would be elaborate on that?
What I'm saying is most of what's coming in is what we've found is they're taking screenshots and sharing them. And when I say not credible, it's permeated out across our internet or across social media. And so it's a fifth or sixth person or eighth or 10th share that's coming back, and they have no information. All they have is, I heard from my cousins, sisters, whatever. You know how that goes. And so until we can actually identify someone who is seen or part of or privy, we can't treat them as credible until such time as we can actually confirm that there is something. And I assure you, the second this situation yesterday, we got the information from FBI Houston, and within 20 minutes we had people at that door. We will move forward as fast as as fast as we can, but as slow as we must to make certain we're doing it correct.
In that specific situation
that was one of the threats. That was one of the social media platforms that came in, and I believe that one, where we were at on that situation is we had threats already circulating, and this was a new one that was right in the middle of everything. So we went, we started school. We had a pretty good, fair number of students, a large number of students that morning. But when that one went out, we had a mass exodus. And again, that's where I'm talking about the fear, to see the parents come up, and the fear. It breaks my heart to see this. As a 27-year police officer for Klein ISD, I've come through the ranks, and I've been on those campuses. I was there at 9/11. That's really the same look, and it hurts. It really hurts to see that.
Now, can you confirm if, obviously a lot of things have been circling around social media. We got a tip that there was a possible threat at LaGrange High School that was connected or related to what's going on
Okay, which school, I'm sorry?
LaGrange?
Not that I'm aware of. But again, the great part of this, of bringing Department of Homeland Security in, we have those national services in the FBI. So we're working with them. You know, I can tell you some of the images that are circulating. The same image that circulates at a Klein ISD school is circulating at, I don't want to name names, but some of the school districts that I'm receiving calls from, we're comparing notes and we're seeing the same picture. We're seeing the same screenshots. And so I will tell you that as it continues on, and some of these screenshots are screenshots that we've saw a year, 2 years ago. You know, again, it's just getting recirculated and it's causing this mass panic or chaos that it's just not warranted.
Can you tell me a little bit about how social media kind of plays a role in this investigation, whether it's good or bad, and trying to find the original post? What does that bring up?
It's a mixed bag. In that we've shared, we're working with Crime Stoppers, offering rewards for tips on this. So we've shared that via social media, shared that via the campus. So that's a great way for us to get a tool for us to get information out. However, as I shared a minute ago in my prepared statement, the parents taking and students' parents, our community, just let's call it our community, sharing and resharing, it's actually become very detrimental to the investigation because it's so far removed trying to track down where it's coming from.
Excelling the student is going to assure that he's not going to come back. We've seen so many cases where former students come back, obviously not to the campus, but outside the campus, and they do, commit big crimes. They shoot at with them. So what is going to assure parents that just know the student is not going to make them more mad and do something again?
So in Klein ISD, I'm proud to say that we were actually doing threat and risk assessments prior to the legislation actually requiring threat and risk assessments on students who make threats. We're doing that and we're looking at the totality of it. What's the intent? What's the, the investigation yesterday, I can't really go into it, but I can tell you when based on what I saw, I don't really have a fear that that person is going to come back based on the evaluation. Okay, so we do those, and we obviously, anytime we have a concern, we refer to additional services and work through and help that. Again, from a law enforcement perspective, please forgive me. There's certain things that I'm just not going to share because I really don't want to go out across the news media, how we operate for overall safety. What cases do we make an arrest? Cases like this, if a person makes a threat towards one of our schools or one of our persons, we're going to present to the district, we're going to investigate, present to the district attorney's office, and file the appropriate charge. And that's every time. Absolutely. We have a very, very firm process. And I would be remiss if I didn't really acknowledge or thank our campus administration. Klein ISD in 1982 had the foresight to start an ISD police department, first in the state of Texas. And from 1982 moving forward, we have been hand in hand with our administration working these types of situations because too often the police, we're not always there. And so working closely with them and training them so they know what they're looking at, what they're looking for, things like the threat and risk assessment to help bring us in when it's appropriate. But again, a big thank you to our administration and the Board of Trustees for having the foresight to start a department way back then because we are integrated in the schools. It's not a outside source.
There's been a witness in the high school at Kane. You guys have a large presence. And also I witnessed canine dogs patrolling the area inside and out, as well as also bag checks. I've never seen that at some of the other campuses that I've covered in the riot. So is this first for you guys? Are you guys going to continue this with it just because of the threat level that came up?
So thank you. First and foremost, Klein ISD does have a canine on staff, and we have that canine assigned to Klein Kane for the indefinite future. And as far as the bag checks, we put a notice out to our community, our students, telling them that bags would not be permitted on campus. Again, just as a safety, again, I don't believe these are credible threats. However, if it makes our kids feel better and our parents feel better about being in the building, because learning's not happening if they're not in that building. So we will take whatever steps we need to help get them be comfortable back in, because a student or a teacher doesn't feel safe is not going to put their best effort out. We know that. So we're going to do everything we can do with that. As far as longevity of it, I really don't know. I know we're going to run it through the semester and reevaluate. This is one of those, just pull out some, let's look at our protocols and let's see what we need to do, again, to get the kids back in the building.
Are backpacks allowed?
Today at Klein Cain, no, sir, they are not.
And for the rest of the year?
For the rest of the semester at Klein Cain High School, backpacks are not going to be allowed. If a student brings a backpack, what occurs is that staff meets them at the door. They allow them to remove whatever objects they need for the day, and then they're stored. And we've taken an additional step. Not only are the staff looking in the backpack and putting it away, but we're having our canine actually walk through and work those as well as they're being collected. Not the individual, but the
What about clear bags?
clear bags. We've talked about it. We've looked at it, and we're still working through what we're going to do with that. Guys, one of the things, and please forgive me, I'm going to step back a second. If you would, you guys look down the wall. That's who we are. That's what we want to be. This is who we are. Out high-fiving, working with kids, working with our scouting community, working with our campuses. And when we have a threat like this, I'll reiterate again, it hurts us individually because it takes away from us because we're going to put whatever resources we need to towards that. Do we have?
Are there any more questions?
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good job, Kevin.
Y'all need anything else?
Thank you guys again. Our hope, let's get this message out.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
absolutely, thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Learning's not happening.
I've been to these campuses a number of times.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah.
Birthday school.
Thank y'all for coming. If any of y'all are gonna have trucks
I
out
know
at
it.
Klein Cain, just for you stand up later today,